Episode 5, Maya, Why the One Appears as Many. In the episodes so far, we have explored an idea that stands at the heart of Advaita Vedanta. The sages of the Upanishads suggest that beneath the immense diversity of the universe, there exists a single, indivisible reality, Brahman. They further propose that the consciousness through which we experience the world is not separate from that ultimate reality. Yet, as soon as this idea is heard, an immediate question arises. If reality is truly one, why does the world appear so clearly divided? Everywhere we look, we encounter difference. There are countless forms of life, endless variations of matter and energy, and an almost infinite range of experiences. Each human being appears distinct from every other. Our bodies are separate, our thoughts are private, and the world itself seems composed of innumerable objects. How then can the sages claim that reality is non-dual? Advaita Vedanta addresses this question through a subtle concept known as Maya. The word Maya is often translated as illusion, but this translation can sometimes be misleading. The sages did not mean that the world is simply unreal in the sense of being non-existent. The world clearly appears before us, and our experiences within it are undeniably vivid. Rather, Maya refers to the mysterious way in which reality appears different from what it truly is. One of the Upanishads expresses this idea in a remarkable verse from the Shvetasvatara Upanishad. Māyām tu prakṛtim vidyān, mahinam tu maheśvaram. Know Maya as the power through which the universe appears, and the supreme reality as the source behind it. Here, Maya is described not as mere deception, but as a cosmic power of appearance, the principle through which the infinite reality manifests as the world of forms that we perceive. To understand this idea, the sages often encouraged careful observation of experience itself. Our senses present us with a world filled with objects and distinctions. We see mountains and rivers, people and animals, stars and planets. Everything appears separate and clearly defined. Yet modern science itself has revealed something interesting about matter. When examined deeply enough, the solid objects that surround us dissolve into patterns of energy and subtle interactions. What appears stable and independent on the surface reveals a deeper unity when examined carefully. The sages of the Upanishads arrived at a similar insight through philosophical contemplation. They observed that multiplicity may not be the ultimate nature of reality, but rather the way reality appears through the limitations of perception. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad expresses this insight with a striking declaration. Neha nanasti kinchana. There is no multiplicity here. The sages were not denying the diversity that we experience in everyday life. Instead, they were suggesting that beneath this diversity, there exists a deeper unity that the senses alone cannot reveal. The concept of Maya therefore points toward a fundamental limitation in the way human perception operates. Our minds interpret reality through distinctions, subject and object, self and other, past and future, here and there. These distinctions help us navigate the world, yet they may also conceal the underlying unity that Advaita Vedanta describes. The great philosopher Adi Shankaracharya, who systematized the teachings of Advaita Vedanta, often emphasized that Maya does not create a separate reality. Rather, it veils the true nature of what already exists. Because of this veil, the infinite appears as limited, the indivisible appears as divided, and the eternal appears as transient. Yet the sages never suggested that the world must be rejected or dismissed. Instead, they encouraged a deeper understanding of its nature. The universe can be experienced on different levels of understanding. On the surface level of everyday experience, the world appears filled with separate objects and individual identities. This level is not false in a practical sense. It is the reality through which ordinary life unfolds. But Advaita Vedanta suggests that beneath this level lies a deeper truth, a reality in which the apparent divisions of existence dissolve into unity. The Chandogya Upanishad captures this vision with one of its most beautiful declarations, Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. All this indeed is Brahman. The world that appears before us is not separate from the ultimate reality. It arises within it, is sustained by it, and ultimately resolves back into it. The purpose of Advaita Vedanta is therefore not to escape the world, but to understand its true nature. When the veil of misunderstanding gradually lifts, the multiplicity of the universe no longer appears as a collection of isolated things. Instead, it reveals itself as expressions of a single, indivisible reality. The sages of the Upanishads often approach this discovery through deep contemplation and inquiry. As understanding matures, the sense of separation begins to soften, and the unity underlying existence becomes more apparent. Advaita Vedanta describes this awakening not as acquiring something new, but as recognizing what has always been present. In the reflections that follow, we will turn toward another important question. If Maya creates the appearance of multiplicity, how can one recognize the underlying unity that the Upanishads describe? The sages addressed this through a powerful insight into the nature of consciousness itself, the idea of the witness, the silent awareness that observes every experience without being limited by it. Understanding this witness consciousness becomes an important step in the journey toward non-dual understanding.